How's it going, everybody? My name is Chase Keep and welcome to my channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys the 10 things that I'm doing this year in 2020 to save money. And altogether, these 10 things, these 10 frugal living hacks or lifestyle hacks are allowing me to save over $20,000 just this year in 2020 alone. Now, in this video, I'm not going to try and convince anybody out there to adopt all 10 of these frugal lifestyle habits that I'm going to be talking about today. Far from it. I think this video is actually just going to show you guys the crazy lifestyle that I live in order to save as much money as I possibly can. But for every single person out there who is looking for some ways to start saving money right now in 2020, I want this video to inspire you guys to start finding your own wacky or unconventional ways of saving money yourself. But with that, let's jump straight into this video, starting with the first of these 10 crazy things that I'm doing to save money in 2020. And the first thing that I'm doing right now to save some money is I'm actually never going out and eating at restaurants. I learned a long time ago that eating out at restaurants is a very expensive habit to keep doing, especially if you're going out to restaurants every single week or every single day even. It can be something that's costing you a lot of money. Especially when you compare going out and eating at restaurants to buying groceries and making food at home. It's a very expensive habit, and actually in 2020 it's almost easier to make this hack work for you. I found that in the quarantine, not only are a lot of people refraining from going out and eating at restaurants, but they're also seeing that they can save a lot of money by doing just that, and they're starting to cook some meals at home. And I'm the same way. I found that so far in 2020, not eating out at restaurants has just been a very good way to start saving money. I spend about $90 per month on food, and you're probably wondering what I buy in order to make it that cheap, and I promise you we'll get to that in a little bit. The second thing that I'm doing right now in 2020 to save myself some money is I'm actually walking everywhere that I need to go. Over the course of the last 4 years, ever since I graduated high school actually, I haven't owned a car. Instead, I've been walking or biking everywhere that I need to go. And this is a lifestyle hack that has allowed me to save a lot of money. I've talked about owning a car on the channel in the past, and basically owning a car is just something that I don't see myself doing. I don't think that I would ever buy into that. Owning a car is actually something that I would consider for most people to be a money trap. Anytime that I do need to go somewhere that is outside of my walking radius, I just call an Uber. And I know that walking everywhere and then calling an Uber on the rare occasions that I actually need one is a lot cheaper than owning my own car. There's so many options for transportation for everybody out there. So unless you live in a place where you need to own a car, I just find that it's a much better deal to live without one. And the third thing that I'm doing in 2020 to save myself some money is actually a bit of a mindset change from what most people do. I actually focus when I'm creating my budgets on saving first and spending second. Now, when most people start to create their own budgets, what they'll end up doing is putting a certain amount of money into their accounts or onto their credit cards for spending in a given month. And then at the end of the month, after they've spent money on all the things they need, they will then save whatever is left over. But I actually try and do the opposite of that. I try to save a certain amount of money at the beginning of every single month, and then I spend whatever is left over. I would highly encourage anybody out there, if you're trying to save some money, this is a great way to actually get into the habit and get into the mindset of saving money first. This is going to be one of the greatest ways to help you to start working towards your financial goals. If you're trying to save up a certain amount of money, maybe it's to pay off your debts or to retire early, this is the greatest way to actually start working towards that goal on a monthly, weekly, or even daily basis. And this mindset is actually something that I talked about in one of my recent videos about how I'm paying off $60,000 in student debt. So if you guys want to learn more about this mindset of save first, spend second, go and check out that video. There's a link in the top right hand corner of your screen. But moving on now to the fourth thing that I'm doing in 2020 to save myself some money. And this is actually going to answer one of the questions that you guys probably had at the beginning of the video, and that's what I eat every single week in order to spend $90 per month on food. And the lifestyle hack that I want to talk about today is actually eating the exact same meals every single day. This is something that I've been doing for months now. I absolutely love it, and it allows me to save a lot of money by just buying the exact same things at the grocery store every single time that I go grocery shopping. So for me, it is always the exact same thing. It's a banana and some Trader Joe's instant oatmeal for breakfast. It's a peanut butter and jelly with some chips for lunch. And then for dinner, I have rice, beans, and green beans. And actually, someone commented recently on my channel and said that I can switch up my dinners every night by having rice and beans one night and then beans and rice the next. And I can honestly say I love that. So whoever commented that, thank you so much. That's an awesome saying that I'm using all the time now. And eating the exact same thing for every meal is actually what allows me to eat $1 meals. Every single meal that I eat basically costs just $1. And the math behind this one is actually pretty simple. I try to keep my spending on food at about $90 per month. And in a normal month with 30 days, I eat 3 meals per day. That's basically 90 meals. So if I can keep my spending under $90 for an entire month, I know that I'm spending just about $1 per meal. And I've been eating these $1 meals for the last 6 months or so, and I can honestly tell you guys that I haven't gotten tired of any of these meals. I'm always looking forward to eating them, even though I know exactly what I'm having every night. It takes away the stress of deciding what I'm going to eat for any one meal, and it honestly just makes my life a lot easier while also allowing me to save some money. And that's exactly why eating $1 meals is the 5th thing that I'm doing in 2020 in order to save some money. And that brings me to number 6, the 6th thing that I'm doing to save money in 2020, and that's going to be that I go grocery shopping once per week. And grocery shopping once per week is actually the maximum that I'd ever be willing to go. In fact, I would love to go grocery shopping once per month if possible, but I found that if I want to keep up with the freshest vegetables or fruits, I need to go once per week. And basically, here's the reason why I only go once per week. The more often that you end up going to the grocery store, the more likely you are to be tempted by foods that you don't actually need. And when you're someone like me who's trying to stick to a very strict budget, you're going to not want to go to the grocery store more times than you ever actually need to. So by going to the grocery store as infrequently as I possibly can, I'm avoiding the temptation for impulse buys, and I'm just being able to stick to my budget a little bit better. Now, if you guys want some more tips about how to save money at the grocery store, there's going to be a link to my video on literally how to save money at the grocery store. So click on that link in the top right-hand corner of your screen if you want a more detailed explanation of how to save money at the grocery store. And by the way, I know that I'm plugging a lot of my own videos here in this video, but if you guys are interested by any of those videos and you're enjoying this video in any way, it would mean the world to me if you could scroll down and subscribe to this channel. If you don't want to miss a single upload, I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The best thing that you need to do is subscribe to the channel right down below this video. And now we're going to bring it back to the original video and the 7th thing that I'm doing in 2020 in order to save money. And this one's going to be that I avoid drinking anything that's not water. And I know this one might be very contentious, and I'm not trying to tell anyone that they need to stop drinking coffee or alcohol or even soda. I promise, I understand that a lot of people really do rely on those drinks in order to get them through the day. So I'm not trying to convince anybody to stop drinking those and only drink water. All I know is that for me, this lifestyle hack really does work, and I've been able to save a lot of money by just drinking water. I'm someone who actually never drinks coffee, and I never drink alcohol, and I try to avoid soda at all costs. So it's honestly just something that's super cheap for me. I mean, water is pretty much free, so I'm rarely spending money in a given month, sometimes even like a given year, on anything other than water. And once again, I'm not trying to convince anybody to move to a water-only diet, but if you are someone who's trying to find ways to save money, then just remember that every time you substitute in water instead of alcohol or coffee or soda, you're going to end up saving yourself a little bit of money. So just know that. Again, I'm not trying to convince anyone to completely change their diet, but this is a way to save some money if that's something that you're willing to do. And the 8th thing that I do to save money right now in 2020 is I actually pretty much wear the same clothes all the time. Now, I rarely go shopping for new clothes. I try to buy clothes that really work for me, and then I wear them as many times as I possibly can. And at the same time, I can fit all of the clothes that I wear on a daily basis into a single reusable bag. So I'm basically trying to do that. It allows me to save a lot of money because I'm never stressing about what clothes I'm going to wear or about needing new clothes. I always just feel comfortable with the things that I already own. So I would definitely say for anybody out there who's trying to cut down on the amount of money that they spend every month on clothes, I would definitely encourage you guys to try and keep all the clothes that you wear inside of something that's a bit smaller than you currently have. If right now you have a massive closet and you try and keep that closet full of clothes, you're always going to feel like you need new ones. So if you can cut down on that space, maybe cut down on the closet size, you might find it a bit easier to save money when it comes to buying clothes every month or week, and hopefully over the course of the entire year. And on a very similar note, the ninth thing that I do to save money in 2020 is I actually only use 2 pairs of shoes. I have a pair of running shoes and then I have a pair of flip-flops, and together they basically cover any situation that I possibly need shoes in. I've been using this mindset, this kind of habit for a long time now, many years, kind of subconsciously for a while there, but it's just allowed me to save a lot of money. I try to buy just a high quality pair of shoes that I know is going to last me for a long time, and then I wear them for as long as I possibly can. And that way I'm really saving money on not buying shoes every single year or every single month. I'm really just focusing on having the exact same pairs of shoes. It makes life a lot simpler while also saving me money. And finally, the 10th and final thing that I do in 2020 to save money. This one's definitely a big one. This is the biggest lifestyle hack, if you can even call it a hack at this point. But basically what I'm doing in 2020 to actually start saving money in the future is I'm about to move into a converted box truck. And this is definitely a hack that not a lot of people can actually implement in their own lives. I'm definitely aware of that, but it's something that I've really wanted to do for a long time. And now that I'm finally in the position where this is an opportunity that I can actually take, I'm going to do it. And it's going to be something that over time is going to save me a lot of money. And funny enough, I actually might not save that much money here in 2020 by moving into this van, just because of how expensive the conversion will actually be. But the longer that I live in this van with these 2 friends of mine that I'm doing this with, the more money we're going to end up saving. And that's something that I've been really excited to do. I can't wait to actually move into this van, and there are going to be videos on this channel all the time about living in a van, about frugal living in a van, about all kinds of things like that. So if you guys are excited for videos like that, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss those videos in the future. But there we go. Those are 10 ways that I'm saving money in 2020. Those are 10 things, 10 frugal lifestyle hacks that I'm practicing every single day in order to save myself over $20,000 just this year in 2020 alone. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and were able to learn a little something new today. I know this video was very similar to the frugal living habits video that I posted a week ago, but I really hope that you guys were able to learn a little something. And if you did, it would mean the world to me if you did turn that like button blue. Don't leave it gray, turn it blue. It helps this channel out so much, and it'll help get this video pushed to more and more people, which in turn just might help more and more people save a little bit of money as well here in 2020. And before you click off this video, I would love to see some people comment down below. Let me know, what are you doing in 2020 to save some money? What are some unconventional or wacky things that you're doing to save money in 2020? I would love to see some more of those in the comment section down below. I would love to know that I'm not the only person who follows some weird ways of saving money. So definitely drop those down in the comment section below. As always, I hope every single person out there is having an amazingly frugal day, and I will see you all again next time.